All right, you guys. So we're going to get the word for today, March 19th, 2025. Okay, our scriptural text today is coming from Luke chapter 6, verse 38. In the Passion Translation, it reads, "Give generously, and generous gifts will be given back to you. Shaken down to make room for more. Abundant gifts will pour out upon you with such an overflowing measure that it will run over the top." Your measurement of generosity becomes the measurement of your return. Your measurement of generosity becomes your measurement of return. Speaking today from the topic, I give gifts of love and grace. I love to give gifts, or I give gifts, it says. I give gifts of love and grace. And it says, I love to give good gifts to my children. Gifts wrapped with love and given in grace. My heart is filled with longing to see you, my beautiful child, to see you soar and excel in every way. My spirit is freely given to all who call upon me. My gifts come without strings attached, so I call you, my child, to emulate me and live a generous life. Let's press pause there for just a second. It says, I give good gifts. I give gifts that are wrapped in love and are given in grace. This is how we should give. We are literally looking at how we should model our gifts of love and grace behind what God gives to us, right? We learn how to love and how to have grace and how to exist from Jesus and from God, right? So it says, I give gifts that are wrapped with love and given with grace. Think about the last time that you've given someone a gift, and then think about also the next time that you give somebody a gift. Make sure that you give it wrapped in love and then given with grace. If you have to tell somebody no, even, wrap it with love, give it with grace. If you feel the need to share wisdom with somebody, wrap it with love and give it with grace. Whatever gift that you're going to give, if it's the gift of your presence, y'all, I'm just kidding, but I'm really not. But I said what I said. But if you are going to give the gift of your presence, which is such a beautiful gift that we underestimate, but if you're going to give your gift, the gift of your presence, wrap it in love and wrap it with grace. What does that mean? If you're spending time with someone, give them your full undivided attention. Put your phone down. Love on them. Give it with love and wrap it in grace. Okay? Even if you got to go visit family that is, a bit difficult, that sometimes those visits can be a bit tumultuous, keep the visit short if you need to, but wrap it in love and give it with grace and say, okay, and when the time is up, gracefully exit. All right, I love y'all. I got to go. Okay? Whatever gift you're giving, like I said, give it with love and grace. And then it says, listen, my heart is filled with longing to see you soar and excel in every way, right? That means that God wants the best for us. Want the best for other people too. Okay? I have this longing, God is saying. I have this longing. My heart is filled with this longing that I want to see you excel and soar in every way. We talked about how God is like, I want the best result for you. Like, I want the best experience for you. I want the best result for you. And that's why he keeps us on straight and narrow paths, right? That's why he has a planned path for us, because he wants so much to see us get it right. He's like, I can't wait till you see it. Right? So when we talk about modeling ourselves after God and the way he gives love and grace, we model our heart after God's, our intention, our heart after God. You should want the best for people. That is not envy. That is not jealousy. That is not comparison. Those things are not of God. How God's heart operates is that he longs to see the best for us in a parental way, but even also in a fellowship way, in an all-encompassing way. So in a parental way, yes, but then also in a fellowship way, like a friendly way, as a teacher, right? He loves that. So it's like his heart posture is, I want to see the best for you. Our heart posture should be, I want to see the best for you, right? If you love somebody, which you're called to love everyone. If you love people, not just your family, not just your favorite people, but you should be trying to see the best for them. I gave an analogy when we did the devotional from yesterday. I talked about a troublesome coworker, that you have a little conflict with. Y'all don't see it for each other for whatever reason. Try to love people. I want to see the best for you. That don't mean, that you let people walk over you, or that doesn't mean that you let people mistreat you. But You try, and that is big, like that you try to see the best in people. You try to want the best with people, regardless of if their personality don't match your personality, regardless of if their faith don't match your faith, or their words don't match the way you would have said it, their motivations don't match your motivations. But you try to have love for other people, right? You want to see people, you want to see people succeed. To soar and excel is how this devotional says it, that God looks at us and says, I want to see you this, I want to see you soar and excel. So if we're modeling, again, long story less long, if we're modeling our heart after the Lord, you should want the best for people, for all people. It goes on to say, my spirit is freely given to all who call upon me. My gifts my gifts, they come without strings attached. The gifts of this world will have you selling your soul and selling your social security number and selling your whole existence just to try to get a gift. A gift should be free. It should be free flowing. It should be good. It should be wrapped in love and grace, as this devotional says, right? But it says, my gifts comes without string attached. That's how we know God's love is perfect. God is pure. He is the only one true, holy, pure one, right? He says, listen, I don't have strings attached. That makes me think of like fine print. Have you ever looked at the fine print for your phone, for your apps, for your checkouts, even on websites and stuff? Have you ever looked at this stuff? Privacy notices, privacy policies, data governance. Have you ever looked at this stuff and see what these people are doing? It's so many strings attached. It's terrible. It's terrible. They outright playing in your face. I ain't gonna start on politics, but like, listen, God is like, what I do for you comes with no strings attached. My gifts comes without strings attached. It says, so I call you, my child, to emulate me and live a generous life. Live generously. That's the point, right? Like I said, modeling this after the way that God does. And it goes on to say, so yeah, it says, emulate me and live a generous life. I call you, my child, to emulate me and to live a generous life. Give to everyone who asks and to all you meet. Be a giver. Be a giver. Be a giver with wisdom, but be a giver. Like sometimes all you can give is a prayer, but be a giver. Give to everyone who asks to you. Give to everyone who asks and to all you meet. Give your prayers, give your time, give your love and your money, right? With wisdom. You'll know which one to give and which ones to give. It says, hold on to nothing but my mercy. I love that. Hold on to nothing but my mercy, for I will supply all your needs. You know God is the source. Hold on to nothing but your mercy. We are called to have wisdom in all things, right? But hold on to nothing but your mercy. You don't need to be a slave of to anything. Definitely not like money and acceptance and validation and entrance into some type of group that's acceptance. Like, you don't need to hold on to anything but my grace. I will supply all of your needs. Don't think that I have to be in this group or I have to be in right standing with these people because my job and my career, my financial security depends on it. We are to hold on to nothing. So that hold on piece, don't, because that's making an idol out of something. Hold on to nothing but my mercy. Operate in wisdom in everything you do that's in finances, that's in relationships and everything else. But you are to hold on to, right? That's participatory, but you are to hold on to nothing but my mercy. Because again, like I said, that can easily turn into adultery, right? Idolatry, idols, right? So then it says, no one will outgive me. No one will outgive me. They can't match God. You are already hooked up to the supreme source. You're already hooked up to it. He has riches forevermore that will overflow, as we talked about, right? Abundant gifts will pour out upon you with such an overflowing measure that it will run over. It will run over top, is how the Passion Translation says it. But your cup is going to runneth over. We talking about Luke chapter 6, verse 38. So it says, no one can outgive me. You can have wisdom when it comes to relationships and education and finances, and you can have wisdom in these things, organizations and blah 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 blah. You can have wisdom in these things when you participate with these things, in and around these things. But you are to hold on to nothing but my mercy. Don't make no idol out of nothing, because it says, listen, no one can ever outgive me. Don't put your hope in these things. I have everything that you need. I make all of this stuff possible. I created all of this. So God is saying, listen, no one will outgive me. Then it goes on to say, be a true child of mine, reflecting my generous heart, and I will fill you with an endless measure of my glory. I'll call you into the life of generosity, a life of yielding your heart to my grace. Yield your heart to my grace. Sometimes we want to get upset and antsy and calculative. We want to feel like, I only have so much left, or I want to repay evil for evil. That's not what we're called to. We are called to live a life of generosity, right? So how does that have to do with that? Generosity and mercy, generosity and understanding. You ain't gonna never run dry. Operate with wisdom, right? So sometimes, does that mean like if someone does something to you in a relationship, does that mean go back and reconnect with that person? No, but you can give generously in forgiveness, and you can give generously in praying for them. You move on with your life. So that doesn't mean just stay hooked up to somebody and let somebody drain you dry, whether that be of the relationship that you have, the heart posture that you have. If they're not doing something right with it, like I said, we're always called to move with wisdom. Do away with them, right? Like you might have to step on without them, but you're also still called to give them forgiveness generously, like the Lord gives us forgiveness. You are called to pray for them generously, like the Lord covers us in prayer, right? Jesus prays for us. So you can give them those things. What do I say? Keep giving them money and access to you and chance again to hurt you and to take from you? No. But you can give them generously forgiveness. You can give them genuinely and generously things like prayer. Okay, you can love on them from afar. You can say, I still love you. It's okay because God loves me. So I'm going to love you. God forgave me. I'm going to forgive you. You're supposed to be a true child of mine. I call you to be a true child of mine, reflecting my generous heart, and I'll fill you with an endless measure of glory. Again, let's press pause right there. When we talked in the devotional beforehand, and we were talking about how people can't help but see the abundance that flows out of your life. When you are a forgiver, when you are a generous giver, when you are a beacon of hope, a carrier of hope, people can't help this. You get blessed by that. God gives his glory to you. He gives blessings to you. He illuminates your life. He heightens your experience when you do these things, and people can't help but to take notice because it spills out of you. It spills out of your life. And people are like, well, what is this person doing? They are doing something right. You may not be the most technical and strategic person in the world. You may be very simple. You may be very just humble and gentle. And people think that because it's not a hard skill, right? Because you have a softer heart and a softer way of living, you just do the things that you know matter, right? So you are not called to be so excellent in this like really big, exuberant or technical way, but your life is overflowing with blessing. And people are like, what are you like? They looked at you and what you were doing and was like, nah, that's not the answer. I think the answer is but by the world standard. This is how I'm a blow through life and get to this place of abundance and this place of whatever they were chasing. I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do all of the all of the retreats, all of the seminars. I'm gonna do all of the education. I'm gonna do all of the this and this and this and this and that. Grind 9 to 5, up from 5 in the morning, sleep at 12, sleep when you die, and they don't get anywhere with that. We talked about that analogy with the treadmill, like how you can, we talked about the analogy with the treadmill, y'all. We talked about how you can do all this movement and still get nowhere, versus you could be somebody who is just living such a simple existence, just doing right by people, just doing what you are called to do, being who you are genuinely called to be, where you're just taking the time to slow down and just love on people and be there for people. And you think that as if we tried to put it in technical terms, like a hard skill versus a soft skill, you think that these things are just like soft skills. Like I said, it's like people are gifted with different things. So don't ever think that one gift and one existence that you're called to genuinely exist is any greater or less than because of what it technically looks like. Even we talk about spiritual gifts. You could just have that gift to be a nurturer and a lover, and to be God's hands, and you're supposed to be called to charity work and things of that nature. So by the world standard, that shouldn't make a lot of money. That shouldn't lead to but XYZ type of experience. But then people can look at your life and you're always just giving. You're always just encouraging, and God is taking care of all of your needs. He's giving you abundance. He's giving you a project to do that took off, that in a creative realm even, or whatever, the nonprofit realm, whatever, and it's not supposed to look like what the world has calculated it's supposed to look like. He might give you a vision to paint something or to write a book or to speak, and all you're doing is just operating out of the things that are genuine to you, that by the world standard was this quote unquote soft skill. It's like, lessened experience that should only give a certain type of output, right? But you could be operating in your gift genuinely and completely, and just by obedience, because the Lord is just calling out of you what He already put into you. That's what He does with all of us. So if the Lord has called you to do this great technical high level thing, great, do it, and your life is going to just overflow with abundance and blessing and purpose, right? If the Lord is calling you to do something very soft and gentle but highly impactful, like be my hands, be my mouthpiece, be an encourager, be a lover, be a helper, go feed the needy, go help the less fortunate. And by the world standard, like, that's all well and fine, because yeah, like, does nonprofits and giving back have its place, but technically it shouldn't bring you but a so-and-so existence. You will fall somewhere in this tax bracket if you do those type of things, unless you're this extreme outlier, right? But when you're doing it with the Lord, and when you're doing it as He calls you and as He has led you, because He put this in you and that is your purpose to do this thing, explosive blessing. Explosive blessing. You have explosive fulfillment that don't nobody else have. God can even cause you to have explosive by unconventional means and unanticipated means, explosive financial blessing. He can have you to have explosive experiences, rich, where you meet all these people and learn all these things that nobody ever knows, and they wonder how you have all this wisdom and how you know all of these things, because you didn't do you didn't do it the way it's not what it looked like. Wouldn't expect for you to have all of this in you. They wouldn't expect for you to have all this knowledge, but it's because you were called to serve people. So you listen to people, you take care of people. So you have all this knowledge by way of experience, and just genuinely just genuinely existing how you are called to experience. Now you have so many things by unconventional methods, by methods in which technically by the world standards should only look like this, should only yield so and so and so and so, but God will just have it flow out of you and have you into the existence, the perfected existence that He has called you to live. It don't matter what the projection is of the world, the standard is of the world. It matters what God does in and through you, what He put in you, and He wants to get it out of you, so He's developing it. And if you're faithfully walking with Him, you're going to do more than somebody who is highly technical by the world standards could ever do if they are not walking with God, right? Because it's not the skill set, it's not the specific gift, it is your obedience with God. We talked the other day about the things that made these people, these stories, we were talking about Job and Abraham and Joseph and even David. Today we talked about David, Timothy, right? Like, all these people are known for their explosive, like their example of faith, right? Having extraordinary faith, and they're now known in the greatest book by their story. And it's not because of who they were, right? It's because of the way they participated with God, and what they did in service to their faith, what they did in development of their faith, what they surrendered to allow God to do with them, with who God already created them to be. When they responded to the call upon their life, when they surrendered to God, these people were still people. They were never perfect. Not before they met God, not after they met God, not after they did their biggest exploits with God. They were human from start to finish, right? So they sinned along the way. They fell short along the way, but they are known for their excellent faith, because they did a good job in faith. They did a really good job with their tribe, and now they're known, as a pillar. One of the beautifully demonstrative stories and experiences of a person who lived a life and an existence that they really cooperated with God and what God wanted them to do and have. And they had it, okay? They had it. So, sorry, let me keep on going. This devotional then goes on to say, and where are we on the 19th, right? It talks about, no one can ever outgive me. Be a true child of mine It says, listen, I will call you into the life of generosity, a life of yielding your heart to my grace. Shine as a light in the world. Let me stretch your faith and show my faithfulness. I'm trying to speed through, but y'all, it takes the time it takes. So I ain't gonna rush myself. But listen, let me stretch your faith. Let me stretch your faith and show you my faithfulness. I'm gonna stretch your faith, and then I'm going to pour my faith into you. Faithfulness, full of faith. God is like, I'm going to stretch your faith. I'm going to stretch yours thin. And then I'm also going to fill you back up as an expression of my faithfulness to you. And that's going to also fill your faith back up in me. Okay? That's relationship. That's cyclical, right? That's how you never run out, because you're connected to the source. He's like, I'm going to stretch yours thin. I'm going to then show you, all the while, I'm going to show you how full of faith I am to you and my faithfulness to you in our relationship. That's going to fill you up, build you up, nourish you, nourish you, rehydrate you where you've been depleted, and it is also going to overflow. So that's going to give you this beautiful experience where you can keep on going and you can keep on enduring. I'm going to give you my generosity. I'm going to give you my grace. Let's keep going. It closes out by saying, ask of me and I will give you, listen, ask of me and I will give even nations as your inheritance. Even nations I'll give to you as your inheritance. Ask of me and I'll even give you nations. Pray to me and I will give you a generous heart. That's so huge. Having a soft, tender heart, a humble heart, a heart of humility, a heart of gratitude, and a heart of generosity. Pray to me and I'm going to give you a generous heart. For I am your Father, the God of endless supply. Y'all, that's the devotion for today inside of the I Hear His Whisper. Let me go ahead and get into the He Whispers Your Name Daily Devotional by Cherie Hill for the 19th. Today is the 19th, and we are still inside of the topic that is focusing on guidance. I'm going to go ahead and get the word for today. The scriptural text for today is Jeremiah 29:11. And it's in the NLT. It says, I know the plans I have for you. Y'all know the rest. I know the plans that I have for you. Jeremiah 29:11. Plans to prosper you, to give you a hope and a future. We're going somewhere with this. And we're speaking today from the topic, the plan. The plan. It says, when your day doesn't seem to go as planned, try not to lose focus on me. When your day doesn't go as planned, try not to lose focus on me. My plans prevail, and nothing can thwart them. I know you get frustrated when life, I know you get frustrated when life takes you on detours and even dead ends, but there is nothing to fear. When life seems out of control, it is still within my control. Though you will be tempted to believe otherwise, my plans for your life will bring about true peace and contentment. Although you may not be able to see the scope of my plans at this very moment, I can assure you that I always have your best interest at heart. My delays and detours are not denials of your hopes and desires, right? We said this when God takes us to a place where He's causing us to go step by step, and it may not even look like what we think it might look like. I'm not trying to disappoint you, and I'm not trying to scare you or discourage you. I'm not trying to do those things. I'm just trying to work this thing out for your good and for my glory. You just got to wait to see. Keep coming, right? That's how faith is built. And then it says, my delays and detours are not denials of your hopes and desires. I just have a better way. It may not be the easiest route, but it will ultimately bring about greater good. You may want these desires and all these different things, but I just got a better way. I got a better way. I need you to trust me on this. I need you to build your faith with me on this one. Okay, and then it says, know that through the valleys and conditions that seem hazardous and impassable, it is I who part red seas and provide a way in the desert of your life. I never abandon you. There may be times when you feel alone, but the truth is you are never alone. So whenever you struggle for direction in your life and need guidance and protection through all of the uncertainties, come to me. Come to me and I will show you the way. In the end, it will all work out. Oh, if we just trust and believe that in the end, it says, in the end, it will all work out. If it's not working out, then it's not the end. All right? Again, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you. And we spoke from the topic inside of guidance, the plan. All right, you guys, with that being said, that is our word for today. Okay? That is our word for today. I hope that it blessed you. I know that it blessed me. So I'm really hoping it blessed you too. And that is our word. We are done for the day. With that being said, have a blessed, beautiful, wonderful, and magnificent day. The Lord has already created it. You just make sure you go out, rejoice, and be glad in it. And until we speak again, I love you with the love of the Lord. Stay blessed.